Mrs. Green Apple's new music video for the Spider-Man film Brand New Day, and their theme tune is called Brand New. There we go. I remembered to get all the information into that intro. I'm really excited about this one because, as I had mentioned previously, the music video for this is going to be one of those rare things we get to see where a beloved Japanese artist is doing a theme tune. So it's a really prominent, important tune for an overseas property which is super famous. And one of the interesting things I've always noticed about these theme tune music videos in the past is how they incorporate the subject matter, the movie, the plot line, or whatever it is, some sort of promotional imagery into their music video. If they do that at all, it's partly also interesting for me because, as you guys know, on a low level, I have done some music video direction before, and I love music videos. What can I say? They're just such an interesting art form. Music videos go everywhere from the videos that make a song just stand out even more and really speak to everything that the music's about, all the way through to those which just seem to make no sense at all and completely destroy the rhythm and flow of a song. And then you get a lot of music videos in the middle which are just kind of there. They work, they're just fine. So you can get all kinds of things: artistic, bland, destructively stupid. Any sort of range of things can happen in a music video. So I think it's an art form that doesn't get celebrated enough, and I wanted to check this out. Now, I'm mentioning the music video specifically because obviously if you've been following this channel, you'll know that I actually reacted to the audio of this song the minute it came out because I was really excited about that. This particular version, the music video version, like I said, I'm checking out for those reasons, and it did come out 42 minutes ago. The reason why I'm a little bit late checking this out is because I've been feeling pretty unwell today, and I just couldn't really get out of bed, and you can probably see in my eyes, you probably see the tired look in my eyes. However, I woke up, my phone was like, oh, it's 9:15. I was like, 9 o'clock, the video came out. Oh, I need to check it out. So here I am, just about with you. My eyes are focusing. I can see what I'm looking at. So let's get into it. This is just the best review you've ever seen. Let's get into it. This is the music video for Brand New by Mrs. Green Apple, which of course is the regional theme tune. Should be the worldwide theme tune, but it's the regional theme tune for Brand New Day, the new Sony Spider-Man film. All right, let's go. Big smile. Sorry. I've got to say it straight away. Before we go any further, massive callback to what we were all about, the Sum 41 video from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man film. Sorry, it's exactly the standing on the ceiling thing. It's the same thing they did in that video. Anyway, I will not pause it again. I don't like interrupting videos, but just damn, the minute I saw that, I was like, let's go. Floppy disks. Cool effect. Oh yeah, you're gonna get Shibuya across the And a rooftop, oh my god. They're nailing all of the Japanese music video hotspots. Japanese music video, you've got to have Shibuya crossing, you've got to have rooftops, you've got to have running. Wow. It's very proper actually. In Nihonbashi. They got across the entire city very quick. Love that rhythm change though. a low altitude to be doing formation. Upside down. Nicely handled, nicely handled. You know, it leads into the CGI, and yet it does it in such a charming way. Like, it's so visually arresting. Okay, what is this stuff? Suddenly disappeared into some weird, gigantic Victorian study. Okay, this is more like Peter Pan now. Okay. Alright, that was charming as hell. Do you know what I really liked about that is I know that of recent they've had some music videos where what was the one they did, the drink commercial one, which just looks absolutely crazy. They've done some music videos where they've gone a little bit over the top, and it actually tends to be quite fun a lot of the time when they do things that are a bit silly, a bit over the top, but they kind of use the budget they have to really lean into their personalities and the fact that they are a fun-loving kind of band. This really did that. And a couple of notes I will say is, although, yeah, don't get me wrong, this is the kind of thing where if you're a CGI nut, you can look at it and you can say, okay, yes, yeah, looking at the sort of the colouring and the shading exactly, this is not exactly like the greatest CGI ever, but that actually adds to the charm, in my opinion. It has a deliberately sort of slightly silly dream sequence like kind of quality to it, where it is just a little bit real, a bit surreal, a bit uncanny valley, but in a way that kind of, it looks charming. It doesn't look like it's trying to be something it's not. It looks like it's having some silly fun with that. And for one, I think what helps most is just how much the band are actually leaning into it. I can imagine there's some set bands out there who do a video like this and they do it like really serious, stony face, like, oh, we're cool. Oh yeah, we're superheroes now. Then again, they probably wouldn't deliver a fun song like this. They'd probably deliver something way too stoic. So for me, the song is fun, but they bring a sense of fun to it, which makes it really enjoyable. I love the fact that they're just kind of, smiling and giggling while they're doing all these silly shots. I mean, it's so silly, but it's really, really fun. And I think as well, it plays towards the subject matter. Obviously, we're looking at this both as a music video for the song, but we're also looking at it as a tie-in to being a movie theme tune. And, you're talking about a superhero film, which is as serious as some people take those. They are things that are designed to be, kind of escapism, out there, silly. Well, not always silly, but, things that are supposed to be seen as entertainment, to be light, to be something that you use to get away from the mundane drab of daily life. So I think the way they approach this tonally, absolutely great. The CGI is like, it's not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot of fun, and it actually kind of almost works better this way. If the CGI was too good, I think it would maybe lose a bit of the charm. Now, the other thing that I have to say is this does a great job of keeping the pacing of the song, and that is a big thing that sometimes is a challenge for these type of music videos, is, both having a little bit of homage to whatever they are the theme tune of, whilst at the same time maintaining pace, maintaining movement. And in this case, they've really taken the fact that the movie is like an action movie, and they've sort of, action movie, high pace, high energy, and they've used a high pace, high energy kind of action movie style of direction. We've got these thick, you look here, this wide telephoto lens here, which just, rather than being sort of focused too much, zoomed in, when you have these wide lenses, every piece of movement feels much more dramatic. So there, just going up to him and moving around him, you get that full effect. I mean, just feel how the whole frame just feels like it's moving. You're not just sort of walking up to a guy and walking around him, which would, But you look at this and it feels like this big, huge movement. Look, we're only taking a few steps forwards. Yeah, okay, we're moving at quite a fast pace, but still, this feels like a big, dramatic movement just because the fisheye lens just moves everything of the world around us. And then, yeah, just the way of coming in from the background, it kind of gives it this extra sense of like, just movement feels like it's happening in the frame. So much about the way that the cameras move. These like scenes here. Again, you know, sort of cutting to these funny shots where the little girl's looking out the window. It's just full of that kind of charm that, I mean, look, I'll be honest, I haven't watched kind of Marvel movies or anything like that for quite a while. I think the last one I actually watched was probably, I think it was actually probably the first Avengers film, and I think I was already getting a little bit tired of them. And then, but I remember like, as I keep on referencing the Sam Raimi kind of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films, I do remember when that was a thing and enjoying that kind of era. And the thing which for me always makes those films fun is the fact that you can enjoy the storyline whilst also there is a sense of levity to it. And this video seems to get that. I mean, this video in a lot of ways, both graphically and, you know, tonally, seems to reference more back to those days. It feels like that. This feels like this really could fit in with like the Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi kind of films. And yes, I'm not going to play the audio because I don't know if I can get away with it copyright wise, but just a quick reminder, this was what I was talking about with the Sum 41 video, where they did exactly the same thing when they're sort of upside down playing on the ceiling. And, you know, it just kind of immediately, as simple as the concept might be, it just immediately reminded me of that, the fact that Mrs. Green Apple had this. And yeah, I guess it's almost inevitable that someone's going to think to do that again. I have to assume that the director of this video is aware of the other video. I don't know. You always think when you're aware of the other one, you always think, oh, well, the other person must be. But I mean, there's not that many Spider-Man theme tunes, is there? But anyway, so still, it just kind of made me really laugh that such a different song was kind of cross-referenced in a strangely interesting way. Really, other than that, I think this video also benefits from the multiple scenes. The train scene, the highway scene, you know, gliding through a city, and all it really culminates in the one scene that I don't quite get. Because this scene, this feels more like Peter Pan. I mean, for a start, they ain't swinging from anything here. I mean, you know, swinging from the sun, they're above the clouds. I mean, there's literally nothing to swing from here. Not that they were necessarily swinging from anything the other ones. They were just running around the sea. But still, it feels very removed from the movie. And also, like, the imagery in the background, I guess you could say this plays into more like the Mrs. Green Apple imagery, but I just did not get this scene. They're flying through the clouds with old props that look like they're connected to... yeah, like I say, the compass and everything. This is very much some oldie world image that I think it feels more like it comes from kind of some sort of Victorian or maybe even Edwardian study where someone's been collecting stuff from their travels. This thing was just freaking weird. But tonally, I like the fact that they get higher and higher and freer and more out there as the music video goes on. Overall, yeah, I think this is actually one of the most charming music videos I've seen in a while. Definitely, I think one of my favorites for Mrs. Green Apple because, you know, for me, Mrs. Green Apple videos tend to always be interesting, but they tend to be a little bit hit and miss on how much they actually work. And this one just feels like it's fun and it works with their personalities. And it does the thing that is most important to me. It conveys the personality of the band and it moves at a tempo that is congruent with what you're hearing. And I love that. Variety Legal Services. I wonder if that's a real company. I genuinely wonder if that's a real company. I'm kind of glad to say that Google suggests it's not. I'm glad they weren't actually using this video to prop up a legal services company, unless it's their lawyers, but it seems not. Yeah, it's definitely not a thing. So final thoughts, this is charming, silly, and fun, and for me, that is exactly what I want from this, and again, it moves at a pace that is in line with everything we were getting from the actual the song itself. I did notice as well, they dropped this little trailer that I remember seeing a couple of weeks ago now. That was really fun, and that already kind of gave us an idea what the tone was going to be, but there was no flying around in that trailer. It was just they're walking through a crowd and seeing a little Spider-Man hand coming up like this, and I was like, oh, that's cool, that's rather nice. But then this video took it in a whole new direction, And honestly, I think it did a great job. So there you go. Those are my thoughts. One of the most memorable, recognizable, and fun videos from the band in a while. And I very much looking forward to seeing what you guys think. But until you do, let me know. Thank you for watching this video. And for now, ciao, ciao.